Down here yet? No? Okay, good. I can't find my... Maybe that's on purpose, so I have to ask, or... I don't know. I feel like I'm missing... There we go. Men wear ties. You don't mind, do you? It's not like you really need to be wearing this anyway. What? You're the one who showed up early, not in dress code. Marigold worked hard to plan tonight. It's like you're trying to stress her out. Am I supposed to... You don't think she wants me to call for her, do you? Or if she does, and I don't, what's the manly thing to do here? What do you know?
George! Oh, Georgie!
In here, my dear.
Hello, my big, strong husband. I'm not interrupting you at your important work, am I?
Oh, of course not. Interrupting. I am in the middle of writing. Is that writing the next greatest American novel. And you come in here with your feminine chatter to disturb me. Is that too much?
I was just coming to ask if my smart writer man could use a drink.
Oh, sure. Get me a beer, a brewski. Please, now.
You need to pull it together, okay? They're going to be here soon, and if you can't figure this out, then nobody at work will respect you, and your life will be a living hell. Now, I'm going to go out there and start over, and we are going to try this again.
Love your nails, by the way.
Flattery will get you nowhere, mister.
That's such a good color.
George, focus.
You could do any better.
George! Oh, Georgie!
What is it?
I'm not interrupting, am I?
Of course they're interrupting. You think the next greatest American novel just poofs into...
Poofs?
Just manifests into existence. It takes discipline, concentration, and so much discipline. Something you wouldn't understand.
Oh, I wouldn't, would I?
I thought you were going
Who do you think keeps this house looking spotless and cooks all of your meals and minds? The children!
Children? No.
Okay. No! Plants.
Yes, go ahead.
It waters all of the plants!
Well, I would think that would be the main.
That's besides the point. I manage the maid. I tell her what to do, and I let her stay employed here, even though I see the way she's always looking at you. Always undressing you with her eyes, lingering. And if I didn't know any better, I would almost say you enjoy it.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you?
I would. Funny how she's allowed to be in here as long as she fancies. Dusting the floor, bending down to pick up a cigar, just so happened to drop right in front of your desk.
That is preposterous. I am a man of God. I would never be ungrateful when I married, which, unfortunately for me, happens to be you.
Very good. You're right, Georgie dear. Of course you're right. Here, let me get my big strong husband a drink.
It had better be the best goddamn beer I've ever had. Thank you.
Don't thank me.
Right, yes. Your wifely duties are now good.
Good.
Is that
Better. Adequate. It'll have to do.
yeah? I still don't see why we had to host.
It's the boss's job, George. It sets a good precedent.
Dad and I get along just fine at the office.
As a boss, you need to make sure people feel valued lest they talk behind your back.
People will talk regardless. Besides, I'm barely a boss.
Don't say that, Georgie. You won that position fair and square.
I was the only one who applied.
You had the initiative.
You said you would castrate me if I did.
I would never say this.
I said you would take a hot poker and stick it straight up.
Oh, don't make me out to be some kind of dragon lady in front of...
And about that, is it really necessary we have one here? Things are already so complicated.
Yes, Georgie. That way we have something to talk about if the conversation stalls. But don't go getting any ideas.
Ideas? Wait, I'm pretty sure I can keep up a conversation.
Oh, I'm sure you can. But now as a contingency.
Oh, you think I'm a liar, do you? You don't think I can be a big, strong, talkative man?
I know you can't.
You don't think I can raise my voice and fuck around with my secretary?
I knew it!
That's right. This dog was up all night, but he wasn't working late. No, he was.
Yes.
He was.
What was he doing?
He was finding that boom.
What?
Isn't that the same?
No.
Come on. Oh, I was boning her like a dog.
You monster! You animal! Well, I was up half the night keeping your bed warm!
That's right, you charlatan.
You'd be the charlatan in this scenario?
Can men be charlatans?
Oh, wait, actually, I don't think that's the right word.
Yeah. Do we have a dictionary? Charlatan, a person who falsely claims to have prior knowledge or fraud. So I guess that's not
No. You? Philanderer.
a person who engages in at least one frivolous sexual exploit outside marriage. Yes. Well, you're just jealous of the special bond I had with you, son. With Susan.
I told you to never mention her name in this house ever again.
Did you? Don't you dare make this about Susan, when we both know who the real problem is.
You
Don't resent me for reminding you of your father.
never coming for you!
Maybe I would be rich if it wasn't for you.
You spent your money on rabbit stems!
Very gold. Your fault.
Come in, you must be Dan!
We weren't interrupting anything, were we?
No, of course not. Just the radio on too loud. I think Georgia shut it off now. Georgie, our guests are here.
And welcome. Come on in. Wife.
Susan, pleasure to meet you.
Name is Susan.
Me, Susan.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm the Susan, but I'm certainly a Susan.
Should this be Susan?
No.
Yes.
Could be. No, that's too much.
We can play by ear?
We could.
I'm sorry, did I, is something wrong? I'm confused.
I think we both are.
Sorry, we're being terrible. Please come in.
Oh, here, Marigold can take your coats. Dan, a beer?
Oh, well, I'm not really much of a beer guy.
Don't be silly.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
No, it's fine. Really, don't worry about it. Susan, can Marigold fix you a drink.
A beer sounds wonderful. Susan, you're a riot!
I can see why you and George get along so well.
We actually haven't met before.
I'll be right back with your beer.
So, George, Dan tells me you were quite the manager.
Oh, is that so? All good things I hope, or you're fired! So, oh,
No,
sorry.
you go.
Hey. So, Dan, what do you do?
I work for you.
Yeah, right. I was just Ribia, bro. Oh, so did you see the game last night?
Which game?
I don't know. People changing genders, that's pretty crazy.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I actually know, or like, we have one of them. I'm sorry. I don't usually host like this.
Hey, it's okay. I was nervous about tonight too, but you know, Susan's here, so I just get to be arm candy.
Oh, and what amazing arm candy you are.
And it's just, you're both okay with that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we be?
So, Dan, how are you enjoying being at the office? That it's nice to get away from the old ball and chain.
Oh, well, I would.
George seems to think so, don't you, Georgie?
Why would you?
Yes, George seems to spend a lot of time at the office. Almost makes me wish we could do the same. Don't you agree, Suze?
Oh no, I much prefer being at home.
Oh,
Yes.
Me too. Wink, wink.
oh. Yes, I would spend all night at the office. It meant I could escape your insistent nammering.
Oh, I bet you would. You and that secretary.
Mary, I think that's too much.
George! Sue! We have guests!
See? But
My apologies, you two. This is highly inappropriate.
Don't bother, it happens.
And if you two need some time to talk it out,
Yes, we'd be happy to reschedule.
please pull it back.
No judgment, Susan and I know.
we have no problem trying again another time.
No! Stay.
Please.
Well,
Please.
We insist.
well, if you insist.
You are the boss, after all.
I'm so sorry about this mess, you two. This is so embarrassing. The maid must have forgotten.
It's no bother, honestly, I didn't even
You
notice.
should have seen our place before Dan took over the dusting.
This one seemed to like living in some sort of archaeological dig.
Oh, come on. You look so cute with your little feather duster.
I got it for such a steal. I couldn't believe the sale.
You should tell them the brand. Maybe your maid would be interested.
What are you insinuating, Susan?
Oh, nothing. Truly, I didn't mean anything bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Susan, relax. I was just joshing around. Of course the maid is interested, aren't you?
Oh, hello.
Realize.
Me neither.
That is so rude of us. I'm Susan. And this is my husband.
I'm Dan, and this is the maid?
That's nice that you're here to spend time with us. How long have you been working here for?
Oh, you spoil sport? I guess the jig is up.
The jig.
George and I, we were just having a little goof.
Oh.
I'm not sure I understand. I am.
We don't have a maid.
This is, what is it?
Ethan.
Right. This is transgender.
Oh, that's so cool that you have a transgender friend.
Yeah.
You'll have to excuse Ethan's appearance. It appears that someone does not know how to respect the dress code.
Me? No, Georgie.
So nice to meet a member of the LGBTQIA2S plus community. I have a cousin like that. I wonder if you know him. He used to...
Hurt! He's a hurt! Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have. You must think I'm terrible. I'm just trying my best, but it's so hard.
Of course you are.
Can you ever find it in your heart to forgive me? Do you know her? She used to be named, but now she's Olivia.
George, get away from the bookshelf. We have guests.
Oh, I was just,
Men,
honestly, no,
George, whatever are you doing?
I was trying to put the dictionary away.
Oh, wow.
That's quite the collection.
Inherited mostly. You read?
More and more these days. The more writing I want to get done, the more reading I seem to do.
Oh, so you're a writer.
Just for fun so far.
She's real good.
Stop it, you.
So is George.
Wait, you're a writer? You never mentioned.
Yes. He's writing the next great American novel. Isn't that right,
Yep.
Sure, American. Man, you must be busy between work and writing. Very admirable.
Thanks.
George, I spent minutes organizing this bookshelf order.
Here, let me.
I'm sorry about all this. I hope it's okay.
No, it's fine. And, I appreciate you taking the time to get to know me outside the office like this.
Yeah.
So tell me about your book. That's pretty cool.
How do you do that?
Do what?
Like, you're a man, but you're not a man.
Never heard it put that way before.
Sorry, I didn't mean it.
No, you're fine. And, I don't know. I think it's because I grew up in a small town. Nanton, Alberta, actually.
Where?
Exactly. There were not a ton of choices when it came to extracurriculars. The girls played brigette and the guys played hockey. You play?
No, I was never huge into sports myself, despite Marigold's best efforts.
She play?
Also, no.
I was really into it, actually. Early morning practices, traveling all over the province for games, the whole 9 yards.
Your forbearance.
God bless them.
I'm a man of faith.
And then I hit puberty, and suddenly it just wasn't about the rules of the game anymore. Suddenly they were making fun of me because my voice ended up being higher than everyone else's, and they were saying I wasn't man enough. No matter how hard I tried to make it lower too, right? You ever hear about the butter trick?
No.
It does not work. Still can't stomach the stuff. And then suddenly, somehow, everyone decided that all we could talk about was how fuckable our classmates were, and I wasn't man enough if I didn't join in on that either, so I left.
Children are so mean.
So mean. And the worst part? Now suddenly I wasn't man enough because I wouldn't play hockey either. But fuck them. I know I'm a man, and you know you're a man. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. We are men.
Yeah. How do you know?
Know what?
If nobody ever told you. Okay, I know I'm a man because Marigold shows me, but if I just was, then
Then what? Then you wouldn't be a man?
sometimes I'm not so sure.
Well, what do you mean? Like, you're a woman?
No, of course not.
Oh,
No, sometimes I feel like I'm neither. You know what I mean?
no,
Like,
not really. I'd maybe keep that to
I'm
yourself.
just-
I found it.
Yes, of course, but how fun, right, Dad?
Dictionary, how fun.
George, where did you put the... George! Man, honestly, always in their own world. Where did you put the whiteboard?
Isn't it behind the bookcase?
I don't know. Is it?
So, Ethan, tell us about yourself. What brings you here tonight?
I did. I thought it would be good for Ethan to socialize with people
Well, I'm trying to be a filmmaker and a playwright. So I've been- Sorry.
They don't care about that. That's not why you're here. George, the whiteboard isn't here.
Behind the books,
I
maybe?
think what Marigold is trying to say is that
Don't
she's
put
just...
words in my mouth.
Sorry, I was just trying to explain, and I was just... I'm sorry, have I done something to offend you?
Don't act like you haven't had your hands all over my husband.
Tell us how hard it is being transgender.
Are you enjoying it so far? Being a girl?
And such a pretty girl.
Oh, I'm actually a guy.
Don't talk about yourself that way. You may not pass yet, but you will soon if you decide to. That is your choice, and nobody can take that away from you.
Right, but like I use he/him pronouns.
Pronouns, we get it. Can we stop making everything about gender? These are just the markers.
Like I was born as a girl and then I figured out I'm actually a guy, so now I'm a he/him.
That's amazing.
It's true.
That's a compliment.
Is it?
They're being nice. I knew right away. I already looked there.
So when you came out, how did your parents take it? Did they kick you out?
I bet they did. Poor thing.
I bet they think it's a weird thing that you wanted to transition, hey? I bet they think it's a weird thing to be trans.
Some people just haven't caught up.
I'm trying, but things move so fast. It's hard.
Of course, I wasn't talking about you. I just mean the nerve of some people.
Oh, of course.
Don't pile on, Georgie.
Sorry, dear.
I bet dating's super hard too. Like, how do you even navigate tricking someone like that?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm tricking.
I would never date a trans person.
That's okay. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Like, ever.
I don't know.
Ethan, in your opinion, do we need more tolerance or acceptance in this world?
Could you define the difference? Maybe I'm not quite sure. Oh, wow.
Acceptance, the action or process of being received as adequate, and willingness to tolerate.
Tolerance. The willingness to tolerate something one does not agree with.
I guess acceptance should be the end goal.
But have you considered the alternative?
Yeah?
You're so good at asking questions.
Here it is.
Right where I put it away last time.
Don't be smart with me, mister.
Sorry, dear.
Hey, could I, I'm not gonna be able to draw off my answers.
You wanted to be invited.
Oh, I didn't.
I so generously extended an invitation to our little soiree,
I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just...
and yet you refuse to play your role. So this is where you will stay until you choose to behave appropriately.
I'm not being difficult, okay? I didn't choose this, I just
Enough
am.
out of
So,
you.
no, please, no.
I'll be quite the player to rival. Sometimes I play these cards by myself while George is at work. Anything to pass the time, right, Suze?
Don't get me wrong, I adore spending time at this one, but I do quite enjoy being home alone. Best choice I ever made. Thanks for hiring my Dan, George. Now we can actually afford me bumming around the house all day.
I would never categorize you as a bum.
Joyce? Susan, whatever do you mean?
I used to work an office job not too long ago, but yuck, just was not built for it.
I hear you there.
There's something nice about having work at work and home at home.
So you were out working.
Spoken like not
You're
the
all
boss.
Hey, I wouldn't be the boss even if you paid me. Oh wait, you do!
You had it all in the palm
means.
Husband and wife against husband and wife, obviously.
And Ethan?
She doesn't need to play.
They. Right? Because she's trans?
They.
Whatever. Ethan does not need to play. May the best partnership win.
Would you two like to start?
Don't patronize us, Susan. We'll start. Draw a card, George.
Whenever you're ready. 3, 2, 1.
It's a person.
Oh. Oh,
doing?
the way that is just bristle.
They're gonna mark it down. It's a
And he's color coordinated.
on a paper.
It looks like.
No, not a
looks
tape.
like-
I don't think you're allowed any hand gestures there.
They're breaking up.
It is a pedestal.
They're gonna drive a car. They work in a
It
taxi.
is
something.
particular.
I don't think it's our turn to guess. Stick to the rules, right?
A woman.
Oh, but I just can't. I can't ignore just the.
What?
Picture
Whoa.
is painting.
Two people.
Oh, I would be heroic
Oh,
if I was in that position.
3 people. And
Time.
What on God's green earth did you draw?
It's supernatural. I was trying to do with Dean, and then the taller one's Sam. This is the car, and they're shooting
And
ghosts.
they play Harry on my board side.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a demon.
Very clever. Our turn. Oh, we've got
Please.
this, my love. Ghost on ghosts.
Yeah, never quite made it past season 14.
Oh. Count us down.
Oh, okay. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
It is a person experiencing
MC
emotion.
Genie.
Menstrual cramps.
Robin Williams as the genie.
It is standing on water shoes.
Pennywise?
It is your body becomes a planchette after a bad game of Ouija. It is
Gators full of water.
it is being on the rocky, turbulent waves of life.
It's a guy getting ready to boss Jesus on the water.
Oh yes, it's the clouds. It's the water cycle. It is being one with nature. It is the movie.
Not so
Summer
easy,
by
is it?
Clown trying to find Bikini Bottom.
It is the movie. Oh, Jellyfish Fields. It's big hands. It's
Time.
I don't think I've drawn anything since grade school.
What was it?
It was pants.
Looking at here. There's a lot going on.
I just got very into the world building. You should understand. You're the writer. Well, one of them anyway.
Okay, but at least do what George did and include some arrows or a circle or something.
That's why he's the boss.
One secret. It's actually most of my job. Coloring.
Ah, so that's why your door's always closed.
Yes, my desk is filled with coloring books.
You sure it's not for another reason?
No?
Really? There's no other possible reason for you to be keeping the door closed.
This is not the most talkative person.
Nothing you would want someone seeing going on in there, right, Susan?
Hey, stop. You don't have to do that anymore. Not with them. You can just have fun.
I'm having fun. I wasn't sure, but yeah.
Our turn!
Ooh, custom!
Now this adds a whole new layer.
Everyone guess.
But it's our turn.
Damn the rules!
Carving your own
Very good.
I'm joking. She knows I'm joking. That's just how women are with each other, right, Suze?
I guess.
Come on, don't leave me hanging. Join in, it's fun.
Okay. I hate you.
More.
You beautiful bitch.
Yes. You're so brave for wearing that color with your complexion.
That's good because then I don't know if I should thank you or not.
Exactly. Go again.
Okay. How about your hair looks nice today, for once.
Fuck you, I wish you would drop dead!
Hey.
Joking. I'm fine. We're all fine. We're all friends here. My turn. My turn.
It's a circle. It's two circles.
2 balloons.
Speaking with your therapist.
Balloons are ducks.
It's circles with squiggles on it.
One of them has a mullet.
Repeating the cycle.
The other has a goatee. They both have ears.
It's a caricature of sorts.
It's a drawing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Close.
Lendorer.
Phil Collins.
shit. Just take a break. It's such a nice day outside. It's really a shame to not take advantage of the weather, you know?
We can't
We're in the
see
middle of the round.
Yeah, but like, please pretty sure I passed the second round. Does anyone really like?
Most people actually.
No, I think
generally,
I just call it my
follow
game.
the rules. I think we should sit down and
Let's call it a night.
I actually can't really see it at all right now.
I would like to
I think
see
we're
the
done.
This is something I'd like to see from the anyway. Personally, sorry.
Sex is established at conception and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier. Its language misleads people, especially children, into thinking that male and female are arbitrary designations and can change. That is simply not true.
And so this automatic assumption that the people on the social justice warrior side of the equation are motivated only by kindness when they're also clearly motivated by power is something I find completely untenable.
The Peterson drama has done real harm to real people on campus. He's made it harder to be transgender or non-binary. I know this from personal experience. I'm non-binary and trans.
Michael, why has mankind abandoned truth and started to worship lies?
Today's latest example comes courtesy of a terrible story out of Oklahoma in which a 16-year-old girl who called herself gender non-binary died.
The death of Oklahoma
Her name was
student
Next
Next
Benedict.
Benedict has been ruled a suicide.
Not long ago, the parents in my office worried their child was using drugs and having sex. Those were the good old days.
There you go, just add more hormones and you'll be lactating like a natural born woman in no time. What could possibly go wrong?
Sex is established at conception and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier. Its language misleads people, especially children, into thinking that male and female are arbitrary designations and can change. That is simply not true.
psychological.
It's false. So there was celebration yesterday. Confetti was thrown.
Eminent days for NASA shares of biology. Since that biology is just pure male warrior student, but to suggest there's such thing as eminent days because one of them is transgenders makes it special. If you believe that you are a woman, you are therefore a woman. If you believe that you are a man,
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
Hi. Sorry, I'm just... I just have a classmate of mine kind of just running through my head right now. It's just, we went to university together, and she was a couple years above me. She was an actor, and a writer, a director, and a filmmaker. She used to make these little YouTube skits. You know, she'd get other people in our class to act in them for her. They were silly. And she was also a trans woman. I didn't know her super long, but I remember we ended up at the same party one summer, which is very unlike me. I'd rather be at home with a book, you know, but probably not. But I sat next to her all night because this is way before I knew I was trans too, so I didn't really have a good sense of self yet. And I remember I told her that I also wanted to be a filmmaker, and she said, okay, if that's the case, you need to watch every single Coen Brothers movie, which quite the undertaking. And she said, okay, but at the very least, you need to watch my favorite, which is Inside Llewyn Davis. It's a good movie, you know? Kind of a bummer, but it's a good time. But yeah, no, she also told me about where her name came from. It had come to her in a dream. And I remember she was always so open on Facebook about her own mental health journey and her own gender journey. And she was always advocating for a much kinder and gentler and safer world. And I remember I always really appreciated that. She passed away a couple years ago now. Suicide. And now I'll never get to tell her any of that. In the obituary that her parents put out, they used the wrong name, the wrong pronouns, and a picture of her from before she'd come out. More recently, there's this 16-year-old kid from Oklahoma. I mean, we all heard about them in the news, right? But what we didn't talk about is how they were a really good friend, and they loved to draw and play Minecraft, and they had a cat named Zeus. And of course, the cat's name was Zeus because queer kids love Greek mythology for whatever reason. It's a thing. But they were being harassed by these three girls in the school, and the school didn't really do anything about it until one day these three girls beat this child to unconsciousness in the bathroom. And the school did not call the paramedics, they just sent them home. And the next day, February 8th, 2024, they died. Suicide. And what you have to understand about this is that earlier that year, Oklahoma had passed laws that prohibited the non-binary gender marker on official documents, that criminalized trans healthcare for youth, and that defined a man as someone who fertilizes ova and a woman as someone who produces that ova, and that's it. No other room for discussion there. And then we all sit around and we say, this is such a tragedy. How could this have happened? I don't really know any trans people who are older than me. The ones I do know, I could probably count on one hand because most of us weren't allowed to just be, so most of us didn't make it this far. And I just feel like in order for you all to care, I have to come out here and center how this way of thinking is harmful to you all too, but I shouldn't have to do that.
It shouldn't take us dying. Shouldn't take me coming out here and telling you about all the traumatizing stuff I've been through for you to care. For the first time in my life, and I do need you to hear this, I'm happy. For the first time, I can see a future where I get to be a husband and maybe a father or an uncle, and I get to keep making cool stuff that I'm passionate about with people that I love. For the first time, I can see a way where I can just be. So, I'm actually not gonna stand here and tell you all about the juicy details of what I'm doing to my body or how my parents reacted or any of that, because I don't owe you that. I don't owe it to you to perform for you, so I guess I'm gonna go? Like, I don't know. I should say thank you all so much for coming. It does mean the world that I get to do this, and that wouldn't be possible without, like, an almost sold-out audience. What the heck? Leave a positive review. Okay, I'm gonna go while I'm ahead, so thank you. Truly, take care, and goodbye.
Having sex with.
You're cheating on me?
Yeah, no, never. Miracle, why did you
So that's why you wanted us to come here so bad?
I just wanted you to make a friend.
What does he have that I don't?
Nothing.
Is it because he makes more money than me? Has a more impressive position?
I've never cared about any of that. I love you, Dan. I would never betray you like this.
Then why would she draw
I
that?
don't know, but Dan,
I can't look at you right now, okay? I just
why would you do that? You know George and I are
Party foul!
What?
From Dan. I guess he wanted to be subversive by choosing crying, but...
What are you talking about? I've never seen him this upset before, but I don't think he wants me to go out there and talk to him because he thinks that I've been...
I'll go check on him and explain, and I'm so sorry.
And they call us the emotional ones, right, Suze?
Oh my god. I don't care about... Is this some kind of game to you?
Well, of course, it's a game. What did you think we were doing here?
Getting to know each other over drinks.
Well, yeah, but there's always some kind of drama at a cocktail party. That's just how it works.
Says who?
Says... I don't know, but that's just how it works. Susan, I'm surprised I have to explain this to you. You seem very intelligent.
So what, you've just been pretending, play acting to mess with us?
Get off your high horse, Susan. You're doing the same thing.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. With your, oh, I love being at home. I'm a perfect little wife. Look at me, I'm Susan.
Is that what you think of me? I won't argue with you. I do love working for myself. It makes my relationship with Dan better. We can be intentional about when I'm working, when it's us time. Before, we were so fucking exhausted all the time. I'm trying to keep going, trying to do it all, reject all things domestic, but we just got more and more burnt out, and resentful, and finally we realized just how miserable we were living, just despite the way our parents expected things to be. we actually are, and I've never looked back. Harder to make friends, though. Everyone else is so goddamn busy all the time, so I thought that I knew that you weren't working 9 to 5 either. So I figured that maybe we could, but clearly.
So this is you.
This is me.
And you're happy. But this,
I am.
what's wrong with me that I'm not?
Nothing. You're just not me, and I'm just not you.
I can't fathom someone choosing this life if they didn't have to.
Who says you have to? George?
No, of course not. But when you marry someone, that's just part of the deal. It's what my grandmother did for my grandfather, my mother for my father, and now me.
What did you do before?
Before George. Well, I was in school. Pottery. I made most of our bowls and plates, actually.
That's amazing.
But there's something about having this lumpy piece of clay in front of you that holds infinite possibilities. Sometimes I wouldn't even know what I was making until I started, and the clay would just tell me. And then I met George, and I wanted to marry him. I still do. He's so good to me, and sweet, and patient. When we're alone, we can just... But he's going to get hurt if he doesn't learn how. And I did what I was supposed to. What I needed to do. But sometimes I do miss pottery.
You should take it back up again.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly because. Oh. Well, you know, maybe I will.
Well, thank you for having me. Say at the end of the gathering.
Yes, I believe it is. And I believe the gracious host answers with, "It was our pleasure."
We'll have to do this again sometime. Actually, I don't think we have to do this again.
Well, if you don't, you're both fired.
Both of us. Didn't realize you had that much power.
Well, what would I know? I'm probably going to quit out of embarrassment come Monday.
Don't do that. You're a terrific manager. And I'm not just saying that to cozy up to the boss. Although,
I will quit. We never have to talk about this night again.
deal. Take care and see you Monday.
See you Monday.
me know.
Certainly. And if you ever happen to hear of someone who needs to be kept company while they're out,
I will certainly let you know.
who the fuck did all these books come from?
Dictionary.
Right. Pictionary. So that got a little out of hand, hey?
Whatever do you mean?
I'm sorry.
How are you now?
Better. I was thinking of maybe taking up pottery again.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. I think I will. Good read.
A real page turner.
Any word in particular?
A man is an adult male human being. Well, that's entirely unhelpful. Woman, an adult female human being. Of course. Do
you think that might be you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I think, maybe, I'm just George.
Just George.
Yeah. Would that be okay? So I tried telling Dan, but...
Oh, I feel terrible about what I did to that poor man. And Susan, their marriage.
I think their marriage will survive this.
I hope so.
Do you think our marriage will survive this?
I don't see why not.
Did you hear what I said?
Oh, that will pass. That's just Ethan's influence.
It's not.
Where is Ethan anyways? Leaving without saying goodbye to the host that low.
Mary, I need you to hear me.
We know who we're not having over again.
I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. It's just me, okay? Just George. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
And I love you. Even if I don't understand why you... I know your life is going to be so much harder now. Why would you do this?
I feel like I've been working so hard to shove myself into this little tiny container, and now I feel like, yeah, I feel like I can just be.
So why can't you just be like Dan? He's a man even though he's, you know.
I don't know, okay? I'm not, and I'm tired of pretending otherwise, okay? Okay.
Well, just George. I'm headed to bed. You coming up?
In a minute. I have some writing to do.
You charlatan. Good night, Georgie.
Good night.
If I had wings, I'd know where to start.